your Foxy writer, Brandy Ackerley, and today we're going to be doing the WWC Recap. Quickly, for those new to the channel, WWC stands for When Words Collide. It's a literary convention that happens in Calgary, Alberta, every year in August. The convention focuses on networking and meeting fellow authors and learning more about the craft of writing. That said, they also have author events and reading panels, an entire meet and greet, like book signing event when the convention is in person. I love it. I love it. For the last 2 years, it's been digital and offered completely free of charge, literally running just on the support and love of its volunteers. I've been attending for 8 or 9 years. I think I may have missed the first one. And I've been actively taking on the part as presenting on the panels there for the last 3 or 4. Personally, I found that about 4 panels is my limit for wanting to present, leaving me the rest of the weekend to hang out with people and attend other events since I'm always interested in improving my craft. The 3 panels I was on this year were Crafting Fantasy for Myth, Exploring the YA Dark Side, and I Don't Belong Here, which dealt with imposter syndrome. This year, though, in addition to joining panels of writers, I also presented my first solo presentation. That was on Aphantasia, and the art of describing something that you can't see, but your readers must. First, the panels. As always, I was completely awestruck to be sitting beside all of my fellow authors on these panels. Even knowing that they consider me an equal, I will always remember looking up at them from the floor and thinking that I would never be that good. But all of the panels were great. All of them. The only one I really felt nervous about being on... I was nervous about being on all of them, but the only one I felt vaguely unprepared for was the Dark Side of YA panel. Even having written in that genre before, I really thought that I would just be completely outdone by everyone there. And to be fair, in that panel, I 100% was. There is a difference between reading dark fantasy and dark YA, and even more between writing the two. I have experience in the dark side, and a little bit of experience on the YA side, but I mean, it's not usually my thing. YA is not usually my thing. Still, despite having less experience than the others on that panel, it still went so well. My other panelists were so knowledgeable. I think my favorite panel of the weekend to be on was the I Don't Belong Here one. The group met in the room a good 5 or 10 minutes before the event started, and we just chatted and relaxed and talked about how we wanted to present the topic. While that happened at the other panels as well, I really felt that the group with me in that panel, Sarah Cades Grams, Mark Leslie, and Laura VanArendonk, we really gelled and we really worked well together, like on a personal level as well as professionally. Laura offered me the position of moderator, which I graciously turned down by shaking my head desperately and begging no. It was a silly response and one that I'm entirely embarrassed of now. I'm sharing it so that you see exactly what sort of things imposter syndrome will make you do. I probably could have actually moderated that panel, but fear made me panic, and I denied myself what could have been an amazing experience. That embarrassment aside, that panel continued unabated, and I feel I redeemed myself. My first solo presentation went extremely well too. I only had 11 attendees, but they were a good group, answering my questions and listening, and we actually found one person who didn't even know that they had aphantasia, and they realized that they had it as well. So, I mean, I think that one was like the crowning star of my weekend. Like, that entire panel was the crowning star of my weekend. I love helping people, and while I may have been nervous as all the heck to be doing it, I was still able to just relay all of my information in a good manner and talk to everybody, and certainly all of the people who joined in the group to listen in said that it was really great, which really helped me. They were a great group, though. I absolutely loved it. I would say that I would be worried less about doing it next time that I decide to do one, but I will probably still worry just as much. But hopefully I will have more confidence, even if I'm still worried. As I always like saying, you can't be brave unless you're afraid first. And I am a brave person. It was my first year using the avatar with the group, although I've told them, of course, that I would be doing it. There was a lot of interest, a lot of side glances, and more than a few people who just didn't know who the heck I was until someone made the comment about how having purple hair was something they wished, like, they had the courage to do in person. And I commented that I always had my hair like purple or blue or green. Not like as an avatar as me. It was at that point that something seemed to click, and they all just suddenly remembered, oh, you're Brandy Ackerley. You're that one. At least I know what I'm known for in the group. I really think it will help if I can get a good cosplay of my avatar for my in-person appearances as well. And I think I would like to just own this outfit personally, because, I mean, I love this outfit. I love it. I don't think I'll be able to do the ribbon perfectly. But I love the ribbon. I do love the ribbon. Not the ribbon, the lace. I do love the lace. Anyways, I will say I got more used to fielding questions about it as time went on, and most people thought it was a really fun way to do your online stuff, which I 100% agree with. As always, if anyone wants to learn more about this, just reach out to me on anywhere. I love talking about it. Love it. Oh, Mark Leslie, in particular, gave me a huge compliment, no matter how jokingly he meant it, just before we started our panel together, and he mentioned it in the actual panel too. He said my avatar was a cool app, and I corrected him, letting him know that, I made my avatar, and learned multiple programs just to get it running like it does now. For instance, I no longer have hair going through my chest. You have no idea how long it took me to fix that. Actually, you probably do. You've been watching it for months. But I spent hours on my program trying to figure out how to fix it. Anyways, he seemed surprised to realize that it wasn't just an app that you applied with your phone. And he mentioned that he was starting to feel like an imposter between my and Laura's computer know-how. Seriously though, Laura, Laura VanArendonk, she runs a 2-camera setup. Oh, it's awesome! It's awesome! It's needed for her work because she also does dog training. But it's a wonderful setup. And she would have spent a lot of time trying work to figure it out. That's enough about my panels though. I don't want to spend the whole time talking about my panels. The rest of the weekend was absolutely awesome. Crafting Villains Readers Love and Heroes They Hate was a great panel that I learned a lot from, as was The Bold Business of Publishing Success, Authoring 101. Of course, I attended Laura's solo panels because I love everything that Laura does. She's wonderful. She's who I want to be when I grow up. She made one on author websites. It was great and informative. She posted that entire panel to her YouTube account on Wednesday. I will post a link to it directly if you want to watch it. It was definitely all useful information. She also did the sagging middle of my career, which was awesome as well. I haven't seen her post that episode yet, but I think she posts once a week on her YouTube site, on her YouTube page, so it will probably be going up in the next couple of weeks. Again, this will be one to watch if you're a writer looking for like how to coast out of that sagging middle of your career. If she does post it to her YouTube channel, I will add a link below for that as well, because it was wonderful. Actually, looking at most of my weekend, most of the panels I enjoyed this year, like most surprisingly, weren't actually on the craft of writing, but learning how to like market yourself to an audience. Mainly because I agree that I still have a lot to learn about writing, but one thing that I've noticed I'm just not very good at right now is being a marketer and publicist for my books, and that part of my career I have no idea how to do. Oh, I will have to continue taking classes until I figure out how to do it correctly, just like I did with writing. By Sunday, I was exhausted, and I admit I started setting like the panels up to play so I could listen while I did other stuff, rather than just taking exhaustive notes. I find I do this every year. At the very end of the event, I went and I hung out with everyone for another hour or so, just, hanging out and chatting with everybody. It was wonderful to see everybody after the whole weekend. I loved it. I absolutely can't wait for next year's event too. I hope it will be in person. It's been 2 years since I got to see everyone live and like actually hang out with them, and there is a certain pleasure in just seeing an old friend and taking an hour to sit down and relax and chat with them between like panels, meeting their friends and introducing your own as they walk by. But that's going to be where I end this recap. As always, if you like what I do here, please like the video, and if you really feel like being extra, you could share or subscribe. I'll post a link to When Words Collide, their YouTube page, so that you can keep an eye out, because I know that they recorded a lot of the panels and that they will be doing a little bit of editing and then posting them throughout the year. I don't think I've said it before on this forum, in this page, but this entire incredible weekend was literally only achieved through the dedicated work of their volunteers, as well as the board that organizes the event every year. From this author, thank you so much, everyone, for the work you do. I enjoy this conference every year, and I appreciate all the time and effort that they put into it, into making it just so great every year. And with that, I'm going to be out. I will see you next Wednesday for my my Hunter's Gambit read-along, chapter 19, I believe, that will be on. And, of course, my Twitch later on that evening. Okay? I'll see you then!